Hello friends, this is Dr. Sitesh Roy, super specialist in immunology, allergy and asthma, coming to you with this special video on the hygiene hypothesis and allergies and infections. It is an interesting hypothesis in which it has been suggested that because of the microbial exposures, the bacteria, viruses, fungi that we get exposed to since birth, our immune system gets modulated to either become allergic or non-allergic, which would be hyperreactive or non-reactive to a variety of proteins or glycoproteins in our environment, leading to allergic diseases, allergic asthma, and many other such problems. This was a hypothesis that suggested that living in extremely clean environments, living with a lot of antibiotics given early for infections, and having fewer siblings might be the reason that some kids' immune system does not get the training that it should from bacteria, viruses and fungi to become non-allergic, and hence the incidence of allergic diseases would be high. It was suggested that because the United States of America, the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Australia were some of the countries with the highest incidence of allergic diseases, and they also had the same hygienic and clean environments with good sanitation, good water systems, that was the reason that the allergies were high. This theory obviously seemed too simplistic, while it was definitely found that children who were born and lived in rural environments, who lived on farms, had fewer allergies, fewer asthmatic problems, because they were in contact with animals, they were in contact with farm environments, soil, dust, and were also sometimes drinking what was called unpasteurized milk. It was believed that they were getting a lot more bacteria and fungi into their system that was training their immune system to become non-allergic. However, this simplified hypothesis did not explain all the features of why allergies were rising, until it was studied that kids or young adults who moved from rural areas to urban areas developed more allergies, and those who moved from developing nations to developed nations also developed more allergies and asthma, including skin allergies, food allergies and respiratory allergies. And this led to a more realistic hypothesis, which was called the Biodiversity Hypothesis. This hypothesis says that our immune system, which is thousands and thousands of years old, is trained by the healthy bacteria, viruses and fungi that live in our environment and have coexisted with us for thousands of years. And these bacteria, when they enter our body through the variety of ways, through what we eat, drink, inhale, come in contact with, they train our immune system to produce certain healthy cytokines or chemicals, which then train our immune system to respond in a more balanced and neutral manner to our environment. And truly, even in ancient cultures like India, where the use of a lot of fermented foods which are high in probiotic cultures, healthy bacterial cultures, and also prebiotic foods taken with the probiotic foods, explains that this is actually ancient knowledge which modern medicine has just woken up to in the last couple of decades. Interestingly, allergic diseases and autoimmune diseases have risen by 300% in the last 50 to 60 years. And one of the reasons for that has been the westernization of our diet and lifestyle, with a lot of processed and refined foods, along with heavy use of antibiotics very early and not allowing the immune system to get the training that it needs. What this brings us to is the realization that the bacteria in our digestive tract, in our gut, has a genome that is 10 times the size of the entire human genome, which means the human DNA interacting with the metagenome of the environment, which means the bacteria, viruses, fungi that live in our environment, work and connect with each other and train each other on how to best respond and coexist. So what does this all mean for us in the long run. Certainly there are unique therapies, vaccines that are being potentially looked at that could help train the immune system to work in a more balanced, non-allergic manner. But more important than that is going back to our old ways of living, where we have more time spent outdoors, we live with animals or come in contact with animals, whether domesticated or other, eating a fresh, healthy and inclusive of fermented foods diet, and certainly lesser use of antibiotics and other substances that could change our internal microbiome or bacterial flora. The use of other oral therapies to reduce allergic and non-allergic and autoimmune diseases in terms of probiotics and prebiotics is certainly an area of interest, but it's a very wide field that we still need to learn a lot about. So with that, my friends, it's very, very important that we not just look at allergies and allergic asthma or autoimmune disease as a problem of our immune system. It has to do with what is training our immune system. And in that, these bacteria which interact not just with our immune system but also with our enteric nervous system, the gut nervous system, are very, very critical. So with that, friends, recognize that maintaining hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene and hygiene of our surroundings is still very, very important to prevent infections such as SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19 and all the other bad bacteria that we do not want to come in contact with, or bad viruses, but we certainly want to recognize what the healthy, friendly bacteria and fungi or viruses are and come in contact with them in a safe way. Till our next video, take care, stay safe and be happy.